Oh yeah, we were on 3 city blocks in San Diego on Main Street, right in front of the world's largest naval base. And I'm happy that you brought that up because, when you think about veteran service organizations, there are almost 42,000 veteran service organizations in the U.S. Less than 2% of them have revenues of over $1 million, like Workshops for Warriors.
Is that true?
And
that's true.
Yeah, and 17% of that 2% actually own their own land or have full-time staff, and Workshops for Warriors is there too. We have 30 full-time members. We have land here on several city blocks on Main Street, San Diego, and we've got students here 5 days a week.
Oh, that's awesome.
7:30 until 1800 every day.
That's incredible. And that had to be really expensive to get that
Yes.
set up. How did you do that?
We sold a lot of kidneys.
Oh my gosh.
Good for you. That's what I thought. It almost, it's almost to be, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, all kidding aside, we were resellers of never quit ammunition.
That's good. I like, dude, I told you, man, this guy's been an operative of mine for a long time now. Y'all picking that up. It ought to be the last year of our enlistment is schooling out. How long does it take us to get us in there? Right, a year and some change, roughly, right?
To go through our program or in general?
No. To get us in the military, like when we're when we're in docking in, like when they're changing us, it's about that long, right? It ought to be that transition coming back out. The process should kind of be the same.
That's a great point, Marcus, and that's one of the things that people bring up is, it takes anywhere from 4 to 40 months to train a civilian to become a part of America's fighting force. It takes 5 days to make them civilians again. So there's just not enough of an off-ramp acceleration.
5 days. I remember having my bags, the gate shut, and it was over. And I had left one of my bags in the deal, and I couldn't get back in. I was like, hey. And it's just there's different life cycles going on down here, and we're kind of shifting through them. That's what the military life's all about. It's supposed to be a ride, a great one. And for the longest time, I thought that was part of it. I was like, okay, so we're part of the team. We go in, we do this, and then now we have our isolation phase, like where they sit me by myself to see what I learned or if what I could do. But then I realized that, man, I don't operate well without my team. I'm just kind of just a cog in the wheel, if you will.
And that's the other big issue is that, the military trains teams, but civilians hire people.
Wow.
So
that's great.
It's hard to go from, and we see that every day at Workshops for Warriors, that you'll see these really impressive men and ladies that they'll always say, my team, or our. And I said, hey, that's great. You got to shift to I now. Because they're basically.
Dude, I don't know if you can breathe that out of us, man. Because once you breathe that never quit mentality in there, once someone tells us to quit, we shut it down. And then you've compounded it by war. Like then and now it's hammered in there.
You're right, but that's pretty smart. So if you tell them, hey, this is a new theater of operations, kind of like when you got that no kidding.
I completely, yes, I agree with that. I know exactly what you're about. Yeah, I agree 100%. Not only are they smart, they're intuitive, witty, conniving. That we play every hat, right, to stay alive out there to figure stuff out. And it's that instinct that gets shoved back into us. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, bro. That's good stuff. We don't ever talk about this stuff usually out loud, but that's on point. 100%.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the biggest issue. We call our school the velvet funnel, where you go from the military, which is like this really tight straw where you're really confined every day in what you do and how you do it. You know what your peers expect of you. You know what your bosses are demanding of you. And you know what your subordinates are expecting of you. And all of a sudden, you got to give people a little bit more liberty and more liberty and more liberty before they get to the civilian world. That's what our school does. Because we take active duty people. We have transitioning people that are active duty when they start our program. And then they leave our program and they get off active duty and transition to the civilian world within a week or two of leaving our school.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you have a problem finding students?
No, so just to give you an idea, there are a million veterans that are leaving the service over the next 5 years. And we've got about 16,000 job offers for every one of our graduates. Oh, wow. So right now, our biggest challenge is that we're constrained by capacity. We're constrained to about 190 graduates per year. And we're in the midst of a $21 million expansion to grow that to 486 graduates per year. But we have far more people than we can possibly accommodate in our program.
Could you, franchise is the wrong word, but could you open up satellite centers in other states?
So Melanie, that is a great question, probably the number one question that we have. And the answer to that is yes, you can. The challenge with that is who's going to man those schools? Right now, there are 2.3 million unfilled jobs due to lack of skilled labor in America. I'm going to say that again. 2.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
So Workshops for Warriors right now puts out 192 graduates per year. Once we expand to what President Obama, President Trump, and President Biden wanted, which was 103 schools throughout the nation, this school here in San Diego is going to grow to about 25 classrooms, about 2,500 graduates. It would take 703 schools like Workshops for Warriors at its max capacity, 10 years to fill America's current skills gap.
This is the Team Never Quit podcast. So buckle up, Buttercup.